Welcome back, guys. Bungie dropped a new season just a few short days ago, and there's a whole lot to look at this time around. Gotta say, I'm really liking the increase in loot we're seeing recently, and it's pretty refreshing. So along with new loot is, of course, a whole new batch of armor mods, perks, and my favorite, weapon perks. New weapon perks are some of my favorite additions season over season because once they're added, they're generally here to stay. And I think they have some of the most interesting impact on the way we play the game and build our loadouts. So today, I want to take some time to take a look at the new mods and see what they do exactly. That way, as you and I progress through the season, we'll actually know what loot is worth targeting and what isn't so much. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope you enjoy the video. First new mod we're looking at today is Cornered. Cornered is a fusion rifle perk that essentially functions like Surrounded mixed with Backup Plan and also Quick Draw. So when you're surrounded by enemies, your charge rate is increased or your draw time is faster. Interestingly, the perk says faster charge time or draw time when surrounded, so it seems like there might be a choice to make here. As much as I'd like to confirm this with visual tests that you can see right here, I haven't really had the time to grind out these weapons and actually test them myself, because I'm still a small Destiny YouTuber with an unfortunately small amount of time to make these videos. Regardless, this perk seems like it could be decent, so if any of you in the wild have a fusion rifle with this perk, let me know what you think of it. Adrenaline Junkie grants bonus damage and weapon handling after landing grenade final blows for 10 seconds. Again, I haven't had time to test this personally and I could be wrong about it, but I believe this is a 30% buff. So it seems like a pretty situationally useful perk, and maybe if you have a build designed around it that you could use it pretty often and make good use of it. Again, if you have this perk, comment and let me know what you think down below. I haven't actually found any weapons I liked with this perk yet. Moving right along to the third mod on our list is Firefly. It's making its return this season and will be present on Vault of Glass weapons as well as some others. I'm pretty sure I used Found Verdict and Corrective Measure for like a year straight after I got them. It's just something about those vault weapons, man. Firefly is actually better than ever these days too, granting precision kill solar explosions, but also increased reload speed as well, which is a pleasant surprise. Again, I have no way to test this as of right now since I don't have any other weapons with it and Vault isn't out yet. But I can't picture this perk not being a strong choice, especially now that it wraps in better reload speed as well, which could open up a second perk column for some really interesting choices, which we'll get around to later. Heating Up is next on the list, and it looks like it's going to be pretty good for PvP, improving weapon accuracy, stability, and vertical recoil patterns after landing final blows with that weapon. This perk sounds amazing just right off the bat, not gonna lie. For those of you who don't prefer to build so much and just want to grab a gun that feels good and rewards consistency, Heating Up seems like a pretty great option. I'm also glad to see that they specifically mentioned vertical recoil, since just bumping the recoil direction stat could make guns feel sort of weird and make it bounce left when you're used to it bouncing right or something like that. Sounds like a great perk, and I'm very much looking forward to getting my hands on it. This next weapon perk is very specific, but I wanted to talk about it because it's for the Vex Mythoclast, which was one of my original favorite weapons and one of the most well-known weapons in all of Destiny. Back in the day, it was one of the rarest weapons, and for the first week or so, one of the deadliest in just about any PvP game at all. The reason I wanted to talk about this one specifically, looks like it's changing up the weapon quite a bit. It's actually changing its firing mechanism, and from what I can tell, it doesn't seem like Vex Mythoclast is going to be full auto anymore. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Sometimes perk wording is a little bit confusing, but essentially, defeat targets which build stacks of overcharge, and once overcharge is fully stacked, you can switch firing modes to linear fusion shots, which do more damage. I gotta be honest, seeing this change kind of immediately put me on edge. Sometimes I wish Bungie would just bring things back without changing them that much. Kind of like the old strikes coming back. I get that they're improved in some ways, but a lot of times it just feels jarring when I'm used to the old way. So hopefully Bungie achieved something here that makes the Mythoclast feel fresh and powerful without straying too far from its original core. I'll save my criticism for now though. I appreciate the effort towards something new, and I'm definitely curious to see how it turns out. If I get the Mythoclast in decent time, I'll see if I can get a review out for you guys. Tunnel Vision states that reloading after a kill grants greatly increased target acquisition as well as ADS speed for a short duration. This is another perk that probably isn't going to knock anyone's socks off or is going to add the finishing touch on a perfect build, but instead will be another perk like Heating Up that's just going to make your weapon feel all that much better and a little more crisp. So while the perk is active, your weapon is going to feel a little more snappy and also a little more generous with headshots. You know, like when you definitely didn't get a headshot, but it gave you one anyways, kind of like how every headshot works with the last word. Yeah, more on that later. I might have to re-review that gun. Anyway, I can definitely see this perk being great on clunky pulse rifles or high-impact snipers. This perk belongs, to me, in the same category as Killing Wind. Nothing obviously spectacular until you find your next target and see what it really does. I still remember my first Crucible match with a Killing Wind Igneous Hammer. It was disgusting. It practically aimed for me after my first kill. So I'm kinda hoping Tunnel Vision gives you the same kind of reward and consistency that its counterparts do. We are getting to the end of the list with Danger Zone. It's definitely an interesting addition. Danger Zone grants increased blast radius on grenade launchers when surrounded by combatants. Now, maybe it's just me, but if I didn't know any better, I think this perk is a prank. Someone at Bungie presented a meme perk to the board of weapon perks, and they actually took them seriously, and now here we are with a mod that makes bigger explosions if your enemies are closer to you. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a little trigger happy, and I think this is gonna get me into trouble more often than not. I don't know how many of you guys played Halo CE Anniversary, but there was a skull modifier called Boom that increased blast radii by 2 times, and between me being stupid and misjudging my throws every time, or hallways of exploding grunts, I was dying constantly. Really though, I have no idea how Danger Zone is going to play out. I do like the creativity that's taking place here though, and it could legitimately reward a high risk, high reward gameplay style. Sounds like a silly good time. I just know myself well enough to realize that I won't be using this mod in any solo flawless dungeon runs, that's for sure. And finally, we are at the last new perk for a season of the Splicer Rewind Rounds. That's not a fun word to say. This tongue twister states that when the magazine is empty, it will refill from your reserves based on the number of hits. So if you hit 7 shots out of your mag, it will refresh another 7 rounds into your mag once you've depleted it the first time. I really like the sound of this perk. It's easy to activate, the benefits are clear, tangible, and incredibly useful. The longer you spend reloading in a chaotic game like Destiny, the more at risk you're gonna be, so I like the sound of this keeping you in the fight a little more. And that is all the new weapon perks added for this season. We got a pretty good sized batch, and I'm really happy with the creativity I'm seeing in them so far, as well as the fact that they look pretty useful. Very interested to get these perks rolled on some Vault of Glass weapons too. Should be a good time. Let me know down in the comments what perks you're most excited for, or what weapons you're looking forward to getting. And as always, I really appreciate your time and support, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I'd love if you subscribed and dropped a like too. I make Destiny videos about once a week on all kinds of topics. I think that'll do it for today though. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Have an awesome day.